Welcome on back. In this one today, we're going to be ranking the best SMG in every COD Zombies game from World at War to Black Ops Cold War. We will only be ranking the SMGs based off the original game that they came from. So for example, the MP40 is in almost every COD Zombies game, but it came out in World at War originally, so we will only be ranking the World at War version because that was the game it originally came out on. So with all that out of the way with, let's get right into it. With our first game, we have World at War, and the best SMG in this game has to go to the PPSH. There are a lot of good SMGs in this game, like the Thompson and the MP40, but none of them come close to the firepower that can be provided from the PPSH. When it comes to ammo, it has about the same as some of the LMGs in this game. The damage might not be the best, but with the fast rate of fire, you can kill zombies really quickly while also making a ton of points. And when it comes to mobility, it is one of the best SMGs in its class. The Thompson comes close because it is a wall weapon and you can always buy more ammo. The fire rate and damage is also really solid with the Thompson, but in comparison to the PPSH, it just isn't that good. The other two SMGs in this game, those being the Type 100 and the MP40, are really solid weapons and are really good when it comes to accessibility and getting points, but they just don't compare to the PPSH, which is not only the best SMG in this game, but quite possibly is one of the best weapons as well. Overall, the PPSH is an incredible SMG when it comes to practicality, ammo, damage, and point generation. The only downside is that it's only a box weapon, but with the amount of ammo that you get, you most likely won't ever run out. So for all these reasons, we have to put the PPSH as the best SMG in World at War. Moving into our next game, we have Black Ops 1. Now, when it comes to this game, it isn't the best when it comes to SMGs. A lot of them in this game aren't that good, and the ones that are good are the few that are carried over from World at War. There is one SMG in this game that stands out above the rest, however, and that is the AK-74U. This SMG is great in this game, especially on a map like Call of the Dead, where it has a really good wall location. The damage is solid for an SMG, and the rate of fire makes it a great option for making points. It doesn't have the most amount of ammo, but most weapons in Black Ops 1 are already not that great when it comes to ammo, so it's not too much of an issue. The only other SMGs that come close to this one are the MPL and the MP5K. Both of them are pretty much the same, but I prefer the AK-74U for the later rounds. When it comes to mobility and practicality, the AK-74U beats most other SMGs. Unfortunately, compared to every other SMG that we're going to talk about on this list, the AK-74U is the worst. It is by no means a bad SMG, it just doesn't compare to other SMGs like the PPSH. There are a lot of things that I love about Black Ops 1, but when it comes to weapons, this game is just not that great, especially when it comes to the SMGs. All of them are either completely useless or are only useful up until round 10 for getting early game points. The AK-74U overall is a great SMG, not one of the best of all time, but solid in terms of damage, ammo, ease of use, accessibility, and point generation. So for that, we have to put it as the best SMG for Black Ops 1. Coming into our next game, we have Black Ops 2. And this game is very similar to World at War, where it has a great selection of SMGs, especially on the map Mob of the Dead. For one, you have the Uzi, which is incredible, and you have the Thompson, which is the best SMG in this game. It is like a slightly worse version of the PPSH when it comes to fire rate and ammo, but what makes it better is that it is a wall weapon, so you can always buy more ammo. The gun fits in well with the theme of Mob of the Dead, and as a weapon for zombies, it is close to perfect. The mobility is great, probably not as good as some of the other SMGs that we've talked about on this list, but it still is very solid. The ammo is incredible, not as much as the PPSH, but compared to every other SMG in zombies, it has the most amount. The damage is really solid, being able to carry you into the late 20s, maybe even the 30s, and with the really fast rate of fire, you can build up a lot of points while killing zombies really effectively. There are some other great SMGs in this game, like the Scorpion Evo on Origins, but that gun runs out of ammo way too quickly and doesn't deal a crazy amount of damage. Like I said before, you have the Uzi on this game as well, which is an incredible SMG, but unfortunately it just doesn't compare to the Thompson in terms of ammo and damage. Overall, the Thompson is a phenomenal SMG. You can make an argument for it being the best in zombies. In my opinion, it is second to the PPSH, but to be compared to one of the greatest weapons of all time, it goes to show just how great this SMG is. Moving to our next game, we have Black Ops 3, and the best SMG in this game has to go to the Vesper. This SMG is really good when it comes to making points, since the fire rate is really fast in comparison to most other SMGs in zombies. Unfortunately, you will run out of ammo quite frequently because of that fact. But since it is a wall weapon, you can always purchase more ammo. On Gorod Krovi, this is a go-to weapon for high rounds because the wall location is in a really good spot on the map. Since it shoots really fast, you can activate alternate ammo types really quickly, making it an all-around great weapon for high rounds in Black Ops 3. The only other complaint that I have with this weapon is that the recoil can be a bit annoying to handle, but with attachments, that issue can be fixed for the most part. The only other SMGs that come close to competing to the Vesper are the Kuda and the Weevil. The Weevil is like the PPSH of Black Ops 3, but the issue is that the damage and ammo is much worse in comparison to the PPSH. Not only that, but it isn't a wall weapon, which makes getting ammo a lot more difficult. The Kuda is a great weapon when it comes to ease of use, since the mobility is great and the recoil is pretty much non-existent, but when it comes to overall firepower, the Vesper is just a much better option. If you're going for higher rounds, or if you just want to rack up points on the early rounds, the Vesper is a great option due to its high fire rate, great mobility, and decent damage. SMGs in Black Ops 3 aren't that good, and that's not because they are bad in comparison to other SMGs in zombies. Instead, they are just far greater weapons in this game that are much easier to obtain, so there really isn't ever a point in picking up an SMG in the first place. Unless, of course, you're picking up the Vesper on Gorod Krovi for high rounds. With its practical use and great stats, the Vesper is a solid weapon to pick and the best SMG in this game. Coming into our next game, we have Black Ops 4. Now, the best SMG in this game has to go to the Micro MG. There are some other SMGs that are great in this game as well, like the Spitfire and the Daemon, but none of them come close to this SMG. Now, in general, SMGs in Black Ops 4 aren't that effective because you can't produce a ton of points while using them, because in Black Ops 4 they completely changed the way that you get points, which in terms completely changed the way that weapons worked, forcing everyone to use one weapon in particular that does a ton of damage that I don't like talking about. But in all seriousness, the Micro MG is a very solid weapon. Not many people know that this weapon even classifies as an SMG because it looks like an LMG. It has the ammo of an LMG and the mobility of an LMG, yet it's still classified as a submachine gun. The damage and rate of fire is really good. If I had to pick one of the SMGs on this list to go for high rounds, it would have to be the Micro MG. You do have the chamber delay when you start firing, which can be a bit annoying, but it definitely makes up for that by having an unbelievable amount of firepower. Overall, not the best SMG when it comes to ease of use, but in terms of damage and rate of fire, it might be the best weapon that we have on this list. So for that, we have to put it as the best SMG for Black Ops 4. And with our last game, we have Black Ops Cold War. Now, the best SMG in this game has to go to the Tech 9. Another DLC weapon that not many people know about, and it's amazing. My favorite thing about this weapon is how much customization you have with it. You can make this weapon a slow shooting, high damage semi-auto rifle, or you can make it a fast shooting, decent damaging submachine gun, or you can add attachments to make it a burst fire. You have all three types of weapon firing designs in one gun, which is really cool. Not only that, but the damage is really good with this weapon. Even if you use the fully automatic attachment, the damage is much better than most other SMGs in this game. Best of all is that you don't have to worry much about ammo or accessibility, as both of those problems are solved in Black Ops Cold War. You can spawn in with this weapon and always have access to buy more ammo from ammo crates around the map. When we look at overall firepower, the only other weapon that comes close is the KSP, but I ultimately went with the Tech 9 solely because of the customization. You can design this weapon in any way and receive great results. Overall, the Tech 9 is a solid SMG when it comes to damage, definitely one of the best weapons you could use in Cold War Zombies, and is deserving of being the best SMG for this game. Anyways guys, it's going to wrap up this video for today. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, do all that, leave your comments down below if you want to see me do any other type of content. Check down the description as well for more zombie related videos, and yeah, I got nothing much else to say, so peace.